Oh, I guess we're back to Chevy sucking again.
Lesson from the brain, seeing the beauty through the.
Michigan was actually a lot like Pocono, really great restarts, and actually had better racing throughout than Pocono, but it was kind of similar in the fact that once we got going, which we did not get going for very long. I think only once did really have a long green flag run, maybe twice. It kind of got boring. So in that sense, Pocono was very similar to Michigan, but it's a lot better driving. Don't get me wrong, and going 220 miles per hour, that is crazy. But Clint Boyer did end up getting the win in a rain delay, and I believe he deserved it. He was up there in the top 5 for most of the race. Yeah, he might not have been the fastest one. He worked his way to the front spot off of pit road and got the win. Shout out to him. Kevin Harvick finished second, so he didn't win. That's really all I got to say. He deserved it if he would have, but got second place to Clint Boyer's teammate, and Clint Boyer gets his second win of the season. Kurt Busch, I almost said Kyle because they finished third and fourth. Kurt Busch finished third. He had a fast car. He's another one that probably could have won it easily. I mean, he had a really fast car at the beginning. If he hadn't taken 2 tires, probably would have had that stage 1 win, but Blaney eventually beat him on the newer tires. But 2 tires actually was a good strategy that actually did make for some good racing with Kane there. I wish Suarez would have spun out. I don't know if that was him that time, but I wish there would not have been a caution, because that would look like it would have been a really good race between Casey Kane and Kevin Harvick. Never thought I'd say that. Then Kyle Busch made his way from the back, got up to 4th. You know, we always see that. All 3 Joe Gibbs cars. I'll explain why they were put to the back here in a little bit, but then Paul Menard got 5th. Strategy worked out. You know, did he deserve to be there? Probably not. But the strategy worked out for him. Shout out to him. He got 6th. He would have probably won stage 1 if that caution hadn't came out. Good job by him. He kind of had 2 bad races in a row where he just kind of was in the front because of strategy. And his teammate Joey Logano finished 7th. He had a good car. He got in a situation with Kyle Busch. I don't think Joey Logano was in the wrong there. I mean, Kyle Busch pulled up in front of him, gave him the bumper, and went down. I mean, it's just typical Penske versus Joe Gibbs racing rivalry. I actually watched a video about that today. Then Ryan Blaney, their other teammate, finished in 8th. He had a fast car. I didn't expect him to win. He is one of my favorite drivers, but second favorite driver. Well, it's a tie between him and Chase. That's another discussion for another video. But he had a fast car. I didn't expect him to win. I think he had pit road issues. I was hoping that he did. Or no, what happened to him was he got stuck on that inside line. That inside line is terrible. He got stuck on the inside line because Kane and Dylan stayed out, and then he would have been fine. But then Bubba went to the back, but Blaney would have been on the outside had Bubba stayed on the lead. So I was kind of frustrated there. But he actually stayed out because he pit before, but he had to go to the rear. So that's my bad. But Chase Elliott finished 9th. Now this was he was actually this fast. It wasn't like he cheesed his way up there. He actually was this fast. He was sitting there throughout the race. I think at one point he got up to 6th. That's the highest finishing in Chevrolet. And Chevrolet wasn't bad. I was just doing that as a clickbait beginning. Chevrolet wasn't bad. As you got Jamie McMurray in 10th. He was another one that showed good speed. Was not the fastest car, but it was up there in the top 10. And that's really what you're going to get with McMurray. Not wins, but consistent finishes, and he just needed to get used to the car, and now he's really back to his old self, where he's not easy to pass, as we saw with Larson trying to pass him. And then Eric Almirola finished 11th. He had some pit road trouble, so there's not really much you can say there. I think he probably could have had a top 5 finish had he not had that problem. I mean, he looked really good. Denny Hamlin got 12th. He was kind of just around. He was one of the Joe Gibbs Toyotas that started in the rear. And like I said, I'll get to that after I go through the standings. William Byron, he was at the beginning, I believe it was the beginning. I feel like it was the beginning. He had a really fast car. Like, it was looking good. He was in 6th place, I believe. So somewhere in that area, 6th or 7th. and then he just kind of faded. His car just kind of faded over the day. You see that all the time. There's usually one or two cars that this happens to a race, so it's not that big of a deal. It's still good to see him up front and doing well. Austin Dillon, he had that incident with Ricky Stenhouse. I don't really think anyone was at fault there. I think Ricky Stenhouse did overreact a little bit. However, I tend not to hold grudges against people just because of what they do during a race. Because I mean, if you're driving, especially at Michigan, if you're driving 219, 215 to 220 miles per hour, and something happened to you, wouldn't your emotions kind of be mixed, and maybe you did something that you didn't, you wouldn't do normally, Eric Jones got 15th. He was the third. Joe Gibbs Toyota to start at the back. He actually did get up there in the top 10. I'm not sure what happened to them there at the end. I wasn't really watching stage 3. I had it on there, but I was doing something else. So if something happened there, I apologize. Alex Bowman, there's a little bit. He was up there in that top 10, just couldn't stick, and got 16th. Not bad, not good. AJ Allmendinger, he had a great day. He got 17th. I'm not sure if he was up there for most of the race, but congratulations. He's been sitting in that 20th spot here lately. Glad to see him back up and into the top 20. Martin Truex Jr. at 18th. He had a fast car. I think he probably could have gotten a little bit near to that top 10, but 18th is kind of representative of his day. Not great, not a good finish by any means, but just didn't have the speed to go, or not the best, not worst. I mean, and then Bubba actually came back for me down, had 19th. He didn't have that slow of a car. He actually had a pretty fast car. He had a little issue at the beginning. I think it was just because he's on the inside and was back in the late 20s, and then he had an issue with David Reagan, pitted at the end of the stage, and came back and got 19th. So shout out to him. He didn't go a lap down, so this is Michigan, bigger track. Jimmy Johnson rounds out the top 20. He did not have a good day. He had a very bad issue at the beginning. I'm not sure what it was, but he had an issue at the beginning, which is unfortunate. But that's your top 20. So not a bad day for Chevy. A great day for Ford. They were the top 8 or top 7 for most of the entire race, except for, I believe, Larson was up there, and I'll get to him in a little bit. And who was the other? Oh, there was no other Chevys, but there was a Toyota. Kyle Busch was also up there. So as we go to our notables outside of the top 20, shout out to Ty Dillon. I did not pay attention to him because no camera time. But he had a great day, finished in 21st. Don't know how he got there, but he got there. Ryan Newman, he started in the top 10 and was up there for most of the race. Maybe a flying object hit him or something. I don't know. He got 22nd. Casey Kane, he finished 23rd. He tried that two-tire strategy, the same one that Austin Dillon, who finished in 14th, tried, and I guess just didn't work out as well for him. He was up there for a little bit. Then Chris Buescher, he finished 24th. He was up there for a little bit as well. Michael McDowell, 25th. Ross Chastain, 26th. Shout out to Premium Motorsports, getting that top 30 finish, getting better and better every week. Corey LaJoie got 27th. Kyle Larson got 28th, and I'll talk to him after we go through here. Stenhouse got 29th, but he wrecked, so Suarez got 30th. He just never was fast. And then Matt Kenseth wrecked out early. He got 33rd. DJ Kennington raced in a 107 car, which I did not see. And Grant Smithley, in his first ever career cup race, did not even finish a lap in the 199 car. Rip Grant Smithley. Just rip. And yeah, so first I want to talk about the Kyle Larson incident. He very well could have won that race. He had a very fast car. We know he has a history at Michigan of having fast cars, and then he wrecked. I mean, it happens. It happened to him at Kansas. He wrecked at Kansas. Now that was a little bit less his doing at Ryan Blaney, but still, it happens. You have fast cars and you wreck. It happens all the time. And he definitely could have won that race. Easily could have won that race. Then the Toyotas, I guess recently NASCAR came out with if the spoiler has to be level, which is basically I'll put up a picture of a spoiler that is level and a spoiler that isn't level. And so basically all the Toyotas had, I guess they didn't like that it was worn. I mean, I'm sure there was no problem with it, just NASCAR was being picky. Just had a picky feeling that morning and decided to not let him go. It's just how it works sometimes, and there's nothing really much you can do about it. But overall, it's a great race. I did enjoy it. It was kind of late, but I didn't mind it because I just kind of went out and did my thing in the afternoon, and then came watched some NASCAR. And next thing I know, it's 7 o'clock, and I got more time to do other stuff. So actually, if NASCAR wants to consider making races shorter, no, I'm just kidding. But if they want to consider maybe a later start time, because they either got to do it really early or really late. It's kind of like you can't, like when it's the middle of the day, I'm not going to watch it. It's going to be like 2 o'clock. I was kind of like, 2 o'clock. It's going to be one of those races. We've got to go from 2 to 5, and oh no. But I don't know. It wasn't that bad, and it was obviously a shortened race, so I kind of think from that perspective. But yeah, let me know down below what you guys thought about the race. What you thought about people's performances. I still think Chevy is steadily improving week from week. I don't think we probably won't see prime Chevy till next season. We'll see a version of it in the chase, but we're just going to see them steadily improving, getting better finishes, which is what we are seeing. And yeah, just be patient, Chevy fans. Don't assume. And shout out to Ford for being fast. It's going to be pretty interesting. We'll see how the Mustang does next season. If it goes fast, if the Mustang is fast, I think I might cry. Like, as a Chevy fan, I might cry. But yeah, actually, I do have something new this week, so stay tuned for that. But I will have a discussion video in the middle of that, so stay tuned for that as well.